Hey guys, what's up? My name's Kelsey and welcome back to my channel, Ruffalo Reads. Alright guys, so today I have a hits and misses video for you. I started my channel back when the mid-year book freakout tag was going on and everybody was doing those videos, so I kind of feel like I missed the mark to be able to do that right away. So I'm not going to do that tag. However, I did think that it would be fun and interesting to kind of do an update on my reading so far with just like my 5-star reads and then my reads that have really disappointed me, to say the least. So this video won't be too long because I'm not going to go into reviews and like whole plot lines and things like that. I just kind of want to give my rating and do a little spiel about why. And yeah, I thought that this would be so fun. So without further ado, let's just get into the book. So with coming up with this idea, or like thinking about it and thinking of logistically how I wanted to film it, I kind of just looked back through my Goodreads of my reads throughout the year and sorted it from ascending or descending rather, like hit like 5-star ratings to lower or to the lowest. And then I just wanted to quickly preface this by saying that if I rated a book really low and didn't love it, that does not reflect anybody's opinions and you and how you felt about it. If you loved a book that I rated really low, then I'm happy for you, and I hope that, you know, you can live with that and be okay and not, you know, be mad if I hated a book that you love. Everybody's different, and that's the beauty of it, and that's why I think BookTube is so fun, because we get to see everybody's kind of differing opinions, and these are just mine. And some of those that are unrated are YA books that I just didn't feel like I'm not that age demographic, so I don't necessarily have the qualifications to give a star rating in a review. So there's just that, my little spiel. So let's get into my lowest rated books of the year. First up, I hope this doesn't offend anybody, I'm not sure. So I read Forbidden by Karla Sorensen. This is my first and only Karla Sorensen. I haven't read anything else by her. I rated this 2 stars. I really did not like it. I wrote that I didn't feel connected to the characters, and I don't know if it's because I listened to the audiobook, but something did not connect there with me at all. And you know, this is in a series, I guess it's number 4. I didn't notice that. I'm not sure, like looking back, I don't remember why I picked this one up specifically. So I don't know, if you like anything by her, let me know. And maybe that's why I didn't connect to them, because it is in a series, so I don't know. All right, now I know this is going to upset some people, I feel. So this is a YA book that I did read, rate, and react to. It's You've Reached Sam. Oh, sorry. I rated this 2 stars as well. I wrote that I was expecting to cry and be really pulled emotionally, but it was just fine. Like, this book just, you know, it didn't hit the mark. I felt like it was trying so hard to be so impactful and so sad, and I just was like getting annoyed. Sorry if you love that one. Next is a book I briefly mentioned on my channel before, which is Snowstorm by Cassie Mint. She has a whole, like, I don't know if it's a series, but she has a whole thing with novellas. So Thin Ice I loved, absolutely loved by her. However, Snowstorm gravely missed the mark for me. It just, I don't know, I just don't even remember like much about it, to be honest. And I feel like if you're gonna write a novella, you need to have some kind of standout factor that makes it interesting, and Snowstorm just did not have that for me. I don't know. And the next one is a thriller by Allison Galen. So I was so excited about this book because the premise sounds so good. It's like this vigilante justice mom group find each other on the dark web and avenge each other's like killers of their kids, like people that have like raped their kids or murdered their kids, both, or, you know, different factors. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm on board. That sounds like a fun ass time. Let's do it. Women like empower, women taking back power, and like, yes, let's go. But so I sped through the beginning of this book, and then I found my interest just plummeting. Like, it just got so slow. The pacing was so weird, and the payoff, like, I don't even remember. Like, it was not good. So sadly, this was like one of the first books I read this year, and it was a 2-star. All right, guys, I think that's gonna be it for my lowly rated, because now we're getting into 3 stars, and I don't necessarily myself think that that's a bad rating. It's just a book that was, you know, it was just like so for me. It was like not memorable, but not like bad and not like offensive or anything. So yeah, so let's get into my hits. All right, so first one I'm going to talk about is a 4.5 stars, but I rounded it down actually on Goodreads to 4, but it was a 4.5-star read, and it's another thriller. It's by J.P. Delaney. I learned about this one from Gabby Reads, Gabby from Gabby Reads. It's called Playing Nice, and it's like, so one of my favorite tropes in thrillers usually involves kids. Sounds kind of messed up, but it's kids that like get switched at birth, or, you know, something complicated with the family dynamic involving the kids. It's just like, I don't know, it's obviously like triggering and hard to read, but it's like the most fun, that's not the right word, but the most intriguing for me to read, because it's the most relatable and the most scary, because like I can read about monsters and shit all day, and it's like, obviously, I don't know, for me that's not scary because it's not gonna happen, but this stuff like does happen. It's scary, and I love that some of the books rather shed light on topics, like real topics, and they have like a message behind them, and yeah, I look for that. And this one was no exception. It was, well, let me read you my rating. So I said, this was deeply twisted and intriguing. I enjoyed the writing style and the pacing up until the end, where it seemed to slog a little bit, but recommend if you're into high stakes family drama involving children, which is kind of what I just said. So yeah, it was really, really good. I would highly recommend it. And I didn't realize that I rounded it down to 4 from 4.5, but Goodreads is hard with that because they don't give you that kind of leeway, but whatever. All right, so next hit I have is Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I absolutely loved this book, but I do agree, when I was writing my review, I read some other reviews that were saying the length of this was just so unnecessary, and I agree with that. This book was so long. However, I loved it. It was great. I think that it had good discussions surrounding suicide and, you know, growing up feeling depressed and all of that type of stuff. So it was a hard read, but it was really impactful. I'm sure you've heard about it. I feel like everybody was talking about it at one point, which is probably why I picked it up. But yeah, I really liked their dynamic. It was really cute, and, you know, obviously forbidden because it was her high school boyfriend, kind of his brother. That was that. Next one on my hits is a QB Tyler, and it is Bittersweet Surrender. So this one was just so fun. I don't know, yeah, it definitely would not be a 5-star, but it was so fun for the forbidden taboo aspect of it all. It's her current husband, their marriage counselor. So you have to be okay with cheating. You have to be okay with, you know, sneaking around, lying, that whole thing. But, you know, you're in it for the steam, in my opinion. They have a cute relationship too, but obviously they're not making the best choices. Anyway, next is Layla from Colleen Hoover. This one was a trip. I didn't even write a review. I hate looking back and seeing when I haven't written actual reviews and just rated them, because I'm like, what did you think? But I'd have to go back, because I just feel like, you know, you read so many books that you kind of need like a little bit of a refresher to like know. But this one was a thriller, kind of a paranormal thriller actually, which is interesting, but it was really fun. And the twists in Colleen Hoover books, even in her romance books sometimes, are always just top notch. So fun. So next book is Out of the Blue by KATHRYN NOLAN. I read this book because of Tori from A Novel Life, and I think I fully reviewed this in another video. So like I said, I'm not going to go into in-depth thoughts on, you know, the whole review. So this one actually shouldn't be on this list because I rated it 3.5 stars. However, I did round this one up on Goodreads, so it's a 4. But it was good. I like the surfing aspects. It's set in like, not Hawaii, I don't think, but like somewhere like that, like tropical, like ocean, surfer bodyguard. It was really cute. Next one is Ignite, and this one was 4.5 stars. So I'll read you my review. Absolutely fucking love this so far. I never want to put it down. I don't want it to end. Their chemistry is off the charts hot. Their little we can't be together game and saying I don't love you playfully after their extremely cute and steamy dates just gets me. Hot single firefighter dad. Yes, please. So yeah, I forgot they did that. So like their whole thing is like she's really young and he's like a single dad of 2. They're neighbors. So after their little, like, they hang out in each other's yards, and then after that they're like, don't love you. They're like, don't love you. But meanwhile it's like, okay, you guys are obviously falling in love and it's okay. Sorry for that little squeal, you know. All right, next, I hate myself as I only wrote that ending though. Ugh. So I read a Jennifer McMahon, and this might have been from a few different people, but the one that sticks out in my mind is Gabby, because she does love this one, and it's The Drowning Kind by Jennifer McMahon. This is a thriller, kind of a paranormal thriller. We have 2 time frames. One's like way back in the day, like 1970 something, and one's now. And there might be something like special or magical or scary about this water, guys, so you gotta watch out. But no, it's a really fun book and I enjoyed it. I could not put it down. All right, so we have another Cassie mint, but on the opposite side, and that is Cold Wood. This one was really cute. It was like a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and I liked her take on it. It was awesome. Some of the visuals from this as well, that you got like little cabin in the woods, like this big gruff like lumberjack type of guy, and then this little like fair maiden, like little, you know, young girl. I don't don't know, in this like village where they like kind of villainize that guy for reasons that they don't even know because it's like a small town. I don't know, it was really cute. I'd highly recommend if you're into retellings and if you like novellas. All right, and on that train we have another Cassie mint, and that's Thin Ice. I talked about this, I think I talked about this earlier. So it's a figure skating book, figure skater and her coach, and you know, the coach gets jealous of her dancing or figure skating with her partner, and it's like, well dude, you want them to have chemistry if you want them to win. So next is Beautiful Sinner, which I read for Mike from Oh Hey It's Mike and Nikki from Nikki and Bookland's book club, the Out of Bounds book club. This was their first book, I think, and I just wrote, this made me want to watch P.S. I Love You because he's like an Irish priest and she's like an American just visiting, and it was very much giving me those vibes. It was cute. Should I have given it 4 stars? Probably not. Probably should have been a 3, but it's fine. All right, Real from Kennedy Ryan is the next book, and yes, this book was amazing. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 stars. I know a lot of people did really love it, and I did really love it. It just wasn't like my perfect book. I don't know if I'm super into the like Hollywood or like princess prince royalty thing yet. We'll see. But I really appreciated the rep and the sister relationship in this. Those are the things that stood out to me rather than the romantic relationship, actually. So then I rated His and Hers by Alice Feeney. So I really love Alice Feeney's thrillers. They're fun and fast-paced. In another video, I said that this was the book that I was most excited for, but meanwhile, I had already read it, so that was fun. Let me read you what I wrote, though. I wrote, I love Alice Feeney's writing. The first novel I read of hers, Rock, Paper, Scissors, I absolutely loved and read physically. I chose to listen to this one audibly, and I really enjoyed that experience as well. There was 2 narrators for the male and female points of view, as well as an alterated voice for the 3rd POV. I would read anything she writes, which is absolutely true, and I can't wait for Daisy Darker. I want to do a thrilling reading vlog, so let me know if you'd be interested in that. I think I like trying to stick to 3 for these vlogs, because the first one I filmed in Maine, I don't think I ever brought up again, but that was just an absolute disaster. I put way too much on my plate for that. Like, I was traveling with young kids, visiting family in my mom's house. It's like nieces, nephews, cousins, like sisters and brothers everywhere. I'm like, dude, I cannot film. So that didn't go as planned, but that's okay. Right now I'm filming a certain reading vlog that will be up hopefully soon if I can get these books finished. And then, yeah, I want to do the thriller reading vlog more towards, you know, obviously fall. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. So I'm gonna lump these 3 together, or, you know, so it's the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey. So I freaking binge read these, I think at the beginning of the year. They're so fun, so addicting. Like, is the writing amazing? No, absolutely not. But does that matter to me always? No. Like, I just want to have fun with these books, and if that's you as well, I would highly recommend. Seriously, they're so fun. I read them all on KU. All right, next book I'm not gonna mention because I did write in my review that it's 3.5 and I rounded up, so I'm not gonna include that one. Next is Taste by Melanie Harlow. I've talked about this book a bazillion times on my channel, and I just wrote, I absolutely love this. Melanie Harlow can do no wrong. Gianni Lupo is a hot chef, and what more could you want? All right, next is actually Every Summer After, which I said it's worth the hype. This was a beautiful journey from friends to strangers to lovers. The chapters alternate between then and now in a linearly stacked narrative between Charlie and Sam. An event occurred in the past that separated the two, and we're working through what led to it, the downfall from it, and the aftermath. I really enjoyed Carly Fortune's writing and how thorough she was while not just filling the pages to fill them. The setting was vivid and beautiful, and there were several quotable moments in this. It brought tears to my eyes and had a memorable HEA. So I really loved this. It is set in Canada. I think that's where the author's from, and I just love reading that setting. It was so fun. Kind of nostalgic because I grew up in Maine, but next one, I feel like I'm like running out of breath, is Praise, the first book in the Salacious Players Club, written by Sarah Kate. It's amazing. It's a dom sub age gap kink romance. Amazing. And next, by Eliza Jane Brazier, is Good Rich People. This was such a fun thriller. Holy crap. If you like the like twisty rich people drama vibes, then pick this up because it's so good. All right, and then the next two I'm going to lump together as well because they're in a part of a duet, and I was recommended this by Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl. So thank you so much, Cheyenne. I absolutely ate these up so fast, and I read them this month, but they're both 5 stars, and that's by Julie Ann, and it's The Naked Fisherman and The Lost Fisherman. So good. We love the character, the main girl characters, like growth and storyline, and we love the amnesia trope a lot. So that was so good. Then we have another Colleen Hoover book, and it's Reminders of Him. I read this right when it came out. It's so good. It's really, really triggering. It's about a young mom who went to prison. She lost her daughter because of going to prison. So her daughter's with the child's father's parents. So when she comes back, she strikes up this like relationship kind of with the guy who was his best friend, but she doesn't know it yet. It's like has so many twists and turns, and it's so heartwarming, so heart-wrenching, and it was worth it in the end. The ending was beautiful. It felt realistic. It felt like something that would absolutely happen in real life, which is, again, scary, but sad and compelling, and I love Colleen Hoover. So if you don't like Colleen Hoover, I'm sorry, but I love her. All right, next one for me was by Mary Bly, and it's Lizzie and Dante. So I heard of this from Noelle Gallagher from the channel. Oh God, what's her channel? I think her channel is just her name. I don't know, but I freaking love her. My daughter's middle name is Noelle, not because of her, but I just love her name, basically. Oh my God. But so she raved about this book, and the cover is obviously beautiful. I love it so much, but I didn't know much about it. It seemed kind of like women's fiction, and it kind of is, but it's definitely a sweeping romance, and it was absolutely beautiful, heartbreaking. It has to do with, you know, heavy medical topics. The main character is going through it, and you know, it doesn't necessarily get better. So it gets better for her in a sense, but in a medical sense, it doesn't. So just know that maybe going in if you're triggered by that. I would highly recommend it if you are into that traveling, like falling in love and letting go and coming to accept, you know, life and where you're at in it. All right, next is, I'm being way too slow. Oh God, we have a lot more. Next is Lotus by Jennifer Hartman. This was absolutely amazing. I love Jennifer Hartman's writing. I'm so glad I found her this year. I found her, of course, from Still Beating. So I wrote 4.5 stars. Jennifer Hartman is quickly becoming a new favorite author of mine. This one follows Oliver and Sydney, who, okay, I go into the whole thing, but basically this one really just pulls at the heartstrings, and I'd say Oliver Lynch is a high candidate for book boyfriendom because he's seriously like so unique and just an amazing guy. So yeah. And then I have Ruthless Creatures, which looking back, I'd probably rate this a 4 because I just absolutely loved Carnal Urges way more than this one, but it was my first mafia romance that I've loved, so I gave it 5 stars. Next is Still Beating. I'm not going to go into it. I've talked about it. I feel like everybody's talked about it. Look up trigger warnings if you want to read it. If you're okay with the content, it's fucking amazing of a story, and Jennifer Hartman is an amazing writer. Next is Salacious Players Club #2 by Sarah Kate, Eyes on Me, and it just was so good. I read it within a day. I think it's a voyeurism kink, and that's all I'll say. Kink club. It's amazing. So fun. Help Me Remember by Corinne Michaels. 5 stars for me. This is like a romantic suspense, small town. I love those. Those really like bring my two worlds together, kind of thriller and romance, and they're just seriously so fun. This one also had amnesia, which I'm obsessed with. Okay, Parallel by Elizabeth O'Rourke. This was recommended to me by Jess from Peace Love Books, and it was so good. Another amnesia romance, paranormal a little bit, so super fun. Next I have another Colleen Hoover. Sorry. And that's Verity. I gave this 5 stars. I couldn't put this down. This is now a Colleen Stan account. Thank you. That was my review. Moving on. Carnal Urges. I just talked about that. It's a hot captive mafia romance. It's freaking amazing. 1,000 Boy Kisses. Literally, I do not remember this book. Like one bit. I don't remember a single thing about it. So I need to revise that or reread it because and by Tilly Cole, sorry. I cannot remember that. Then we have, oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. I must have just been like binging all of her books, but it's November 9 by Colleen Hoover. And I just wrote this was an easy 5 out of 5 for me. Her books are so compulsively readable and engaging, and I started and finished this audiobook in one day. So now I know people have issues with the morality like that comes into question in this book, but No, I loved it. And we have The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is number 2 in the Off-Campus series. I always forget. I always want to say Briar You, but that's not right. It's the Off-Campus series. And it was so good. I loved it. I've talked about it before. It Ain't Me Babe by Tilly Cole. That's another 5 stars. Recommended to me from Tori from A Novel Life. Thank you so much for recommending that. It was seriously so freaking good. Then we have The Mistake. Oh, sorry. I said The Deal was number 2. The Deal was number 1. The Mistake's number 2 from the Off-Campus series, and it was my favorite. Then we have another thriller, which is The One by John Mars, which got adapted, I think, on Amazon Prime or something. And the adaptation was absolute trash. I watched like 2 episodes and I was like, what is this? It has nothing to do with the book. It was not similar in any way. So that pissed me off. However, the book was so fun. So fun. It was like this DNA testing to find the one. And then, you know, it breaks couples up that are already together all over the world and separates families even. And it just comes into question like what's actually important and what actually makes somebody perfect for you or your soulmate. Last book, guys, we made it. Holy crap. Is Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. Now, I'm not going to go into depth with this one, of course, but you have to just go into this wanting to have fun. Kind of like with the Mind F series. Is it realistic? Of course not. Is it like the best written book you'll ever read? No, but it's so fun. And if you just let go of that and just, you know, give it a chance. It's really, really fun. Hot, big blue aliens with, you know, vibrating thingies over there. Give it a shot. All right, guys, that is it for my hits and misses so far of the year. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad I had way more hits than misses. There's a lot of middle ground in there as well that I obviously didn't talk about, but yeah, I think these are just fun. It's good to check in. It's good to kind of relate to other people with what you prefer over what you don't, and maybe then they can start to realize like what to recommend for you and, you know, vice versa. So if you've read any of these or if you hate or love ones that I did the opposite, let me know. Let me know your plans and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.